Alright, what is up, you guys? It is me, Spiky Jesus, back here on Thunderstruck Gaming, and before I hop into this commentary, I want to say a huge thank you to Thunder. The amount of times he's uploaded me here, the amount of opportunities he's given myself and my channel is incredible, and I can never say thank you enough. So, a huge thank you to Thunder, and I'm going to hop right into this commentary. So, I'm sure you're looking at the title right now, and you're probably wondering what does this title mean? The second generation of YouTube, or YouTube the second generation. What does this title mean? And I'm gonna kind of explain myself as I go as I get into this commentary. Now, YouTube has been around since 2005. I actually just looked this up. YouTube's been around for almost or just about 9 years, and it was bought by Google a year after it started. A lot of people believe that the golden age of YouTube was that period from 2007 to 2011. It's when all those big YouTubers that we see nowadays with millions of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, people like Thunder, they started within that like 5-year initial period of YouTube. And I hear a lot about the YouTube golden age, the quote-unquote YouTube golden age being over. And I'm going to try and kind of explain to you why I don't believe that this is the case. The people that were like the first YouTubers, the first generation of YouTube, I'm talking people that started back when this website was like initially created, like Niga Higa, Kev Jumbo, the comedy guys, the big comedy guys that started this as like a hobby, as we all do. We all start this as a hobby, and they've grown to be these millions of subscriber channels, like huge amounts of people watching them. And to be honest, I don't think there's a single YouTuber back then that started that was in it for the money or in it for the subscribers. I'm 99% sure that everyone that started YouTube back in the quote-unquote good old days, they did it because it was a hobby. They did it because it was something that they loved to do, and that's actually a huge difference between the YouTube generation now and the YouTube generation then. The YouTube generation then was completely focused on creating funny or entertaining content just to entertain people. There was no money, there was no business aspect of YouTube. But now I actually see more people that join YouTube with the expectation of earning money or have it be a source of income, or they want to get in it for the fans. They want to have like a fan following. They have some like self-obsession and they need like a fan base to make themselves feel relevant. But back then, everyone started just because it was something that they loved to do or something that they enjoyed doing. YouTube nowadays has become a business. As much as we hate to think about it, YouTube nowadays is completely a business. I mean, I can safely say I get at least 5 offers a week to join networks that are complete bullshit. They tell me about these like ridiculous CPM rates, like $25 per 1,000 views. They claim that they have this certain amount of subscribers on their main channel, and I go look and they have like 100 subscribers. And the business and scamming aspect of YouTube is so much bigger than it was back in the day because there was so much less to worry about. YouTube back in the day also was a less safe place for copyrighted material, as in you could upload like full movies, copyrighted material and stuff like that, because there was no copyright system at that time. And I remember actually YouTube was in a huge lawsuit for this early in its career. And that's when they started to introduce all these copyright systems that we find so frustrating today. But in reality, it did help. It helped out their copyright issues. And if they did not implement this, YouTube probably would not still be around today. Aside from the business aspect of that first generation and second generation of YouTube, I'm going to discuss the growth aspect, because the growth back then and the growth now is incredibly different. Back then, no one had any role models. Everyone that was doing this was just a hobby. It was just some weird website they had heard about that they wanted to try out. They weren't trying to be like anyone. They didn't have like aspirations to be the quote-unquote biggest YouTuber. But nowadays, you see it on huge channels. You see it in comment sections. You see it everywhere. Everyone wants to be the next PewDiePie. Everyone wants to be the next Legend of Thunder. Everyone wants to be the next big thing. Everyone has a role model when they started here on YouTube, and I'm no exception. I started here on YouTube as a comedian / troll. I did troll-tages, fun-tages, because I watched a lot of that type of video. Now, in the early years of YouTube, growing was actually a lot easier than you might think. If you made quality videos, because there were only, say, tens of thousands of accounts rather than tens of millions of accounts, your videos would probably get more views because they were higher quality. You'd get more subscribers, and your videos would be featured on YouTube because, you know, nowadays the most popular videos, the featured videos on YouTube that you see on the main page, they already have millions of views. Back then, it might only take a few hundred for you to get put on the main page. Now, that's not to say that growing back then was easy. I'm just saying it was easier than it is today. Nowadays, with tens of millions of accounts and tens of millions of people trying to be the next big thing on YouTube, it's really hard to get yourself out there. If you make quality content, it's still difficult to get yourself out there because there's just so many people trying to be the next big thing. And I actually read an interesting statistic. I think that every day on YouTube there's 9 days worth of content uploaded. Like 9 days. Like if you were to sit down and watch everything that was uploaded onto YouTube in one day, it's 9 days worth of content. So you can understand why it's so difficult to grow on YouTube nowadays. However, as the second generation of YouTube, we're incredibly lucky for this innovation known as community channels. Back in the day, YouTubers would only grow if their name got out, if people started to really watch their videos. It was truly an exponential growth. But nowadays, there are community channels that have millions of subscribers, tens of thousands of subscribers. For example, TrollArk, Video Games, and Thunderstruck Gaming is one of those community channels. Back in the early days of YouTube, you only grew if you already had a fan base, or if your name got out there, if you were featured on the front page of YouTube, or if you really just stuck with it and pushed out video after video after video of quality content. Nowadays, you could push out video after video after video of quality content and get nowhere. But now that we have community channels and people, bigger YouTubers that want to help us out, bigger YouTubers that are willing to create these channels for us to showcase our talents and showcase our videos on, we're much luckier and it's much easier to grow if you make solid quality content. I want to know in the comment section below, because I love reading you guys' feedback. I want to know in the comment section below, what brought you to YouTube? When did you first hear about it? When was your first experience with YouTube? What was the first video that you watched on it? My name is Spiky Jesus. If you enjoyed